Welcome to the HU Pirate Ship Podcast. What's going on, everybody? You can find us at www.hupirateship.com where we talk about the Pirates. It's year 7, episode number 57. I'm your host, Big Riq, along with Hamptonite from the HU Pirate Ship. Is football really back, man?
No, I wouldn't say it's back. I would just say that it's on the horizon.
Yeah, on its way. We can see it like the pirate ship coming in. Yeah, man, it's been a while. On this episode, we will reintroduce ourselves. It's been a while, so we just want to just remind folks about us and, how related to the school. Discuss, 2021 real quick and our COVID break. MEAC updates, a lot's happened in the MEAC. Just put a bow on that. The Hampton 2021 schedule overview on some of the standout players. And then also we'll talk about A&T just because they're part of the Big South too. And they, a lot of interest there. So we'll talk about A&T and the 2021 schedule and their players too. Go through some Big South predictions and then just a couple HU sports updates. So got a lot going on. We're happy to be back. It's been a long break. So Hamptonite and myself, Hamptonite, man. So tell folks about yourself and, your relationship to Hampton and anything else you want folks to know.
All right, guys. Well, quintessence 4, just a person who loves the university. We've been doing this for 7 years, and for everyone who knows us, we have been very much into, the experience at the Home by the Sea. And I know it's been, 2 years now? And one thing I will just say is that we've been big supporters of all the programs, and I'm just excited to, get back into this, see what we got going on. So that's it.
Yep, no doubt. Yep. For myself, I graduated in 2000. Like Hamptonite says, we just big. I'm also a big Hampton sports fan, big sports fan in general. We've just always stayed in touch with the school and the sports. So, I volunteer with the local alumni association, the North Carolina region, the Triangle region here. So I'm in touch with the school. So, and so we just like to talk about Hampton sports. So, we just do this podcast every now and then. So now that school is back in session, looks like we're going to have some sports. We're going to get back on a regular schedule with the podcast as everything allows. So, so that's it. So let's talk about 2021 and COVID real quick. So of course we lost 2020 sports for the most part. Hampton is mandating vaccines for folks coming back to campus and people associated with the school. So I think that's cool. I think the season is going to be interesting with the Delta and the variants that are coming. So it's likely we're going to have some breakouts here and there. So it'll be interesting to see how that affects the season. And I'm just interested to see if and how we'll complete the season because Big South, like other conferences, are, if you have any kind of breakouts or anything, you're going to have to forfeit the game. There's no makeup, so you will forfeit if your team's COVID issues or any other issues cause the team to lose. So I'm not sure how the other Big South schools are handling vaccinations or if they're required because some of these schools are in a deep South, and the South has been kind of interesting. I live in the South, so I'm seeing how it's been real interesting about how they're handling this thing or not handling it. So,
was that a dig?
I'm just saying, man, masks are still optional in a lot of places out here. People are doing some very interesting things instead of following the science. So we don't know where it's going to lead. A slight dig. I tried it. I love my Southerners. I am one now. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. What are your thoughts on COVID, man, and how we're gonna go forward with the season?
Well, you know what? I think that HU is pretty much, I would say, to the point where they are ahead of the game, where they're actually mandating vaccines. The reason why is because now you can kind of control, you can't control science, but you can at least have and some sort of ability to control certain aspects of the actual virus, attacking, certain areas. And so I think that helps, and it probably will help us over some of these programs that where they maybe have I would say, not a stringent protocol when it comes to the vaccine. That will definitely help us. As far as the Delta and ensuing variants, I will say that it is out there. We both know people who have caught in COVID. My mother caught it, and it's nothing to play with. So wherever you fall in on the spectrum of it, and I would say educate yourself about it. My sister is a surgeon. I have other friends who are doctors, and I actually have a friend who actually wrote some of the code to the actual vaccine. So, I mean, wherever you fall on it, it is your choice. But I would just say it like this: the virus is real, and it's really real. And will we complete the season? I would say that Hampton is positioned itself to complete the season because we have a vaccinated team. So yes.
Yeah, no doubt. That's good. I mean, that's cool to have all those folks connected too. Yeah, I've been close to some doctors and actually living in a triangle here.
Hmm.
I do all the research here for a lot of the clinical trials. So I know some folks that have been really close to it. They got their kids involved in the clinical trials. So I mean, I just hope we're all making good decisions here and we can have a season and everyone can stay healthy. So we shall see, but at least Hampton is on the right path with how it's handling the situation. So, but let's all hop on the fun things, man. MEAC updates. So Hamptonite, man, lots going on with the MEAC. It's changed like overnight. FAMU is out; they're headed to the SWAC. Bethune Cookman is out; they're headed to the SWAC. Dennis Thomas retired. What's going on, man? What are your thoughts about the MEAC, man?
Well, as I look on this schedule, it says, I mean, on the show schedule, it says FAMU out, BCU out, Dennis Thomas retire. That cannot be third. Dennis Thomas retiring has to be number one. And the reason why I say this is because if you go on, I would say MEAC, oh God, MEAC's fan zone or the Oneida or the SWAC fan page, it was always about Dennis Thomas, Dennis Thomas, Dennis Thomas. And if you think about it, for us, I think the luster eroded when we both saw FAMU and BCU bolt for the SWAC. And I remembered watching HBCU game day, and then I saw the teleconference of Dr. Thomas talking about the exit, and he was sitting in that boardroom with a beard,
By himself.
by himself. And normally he's always polished, and you were just sitting here like, oh man, this don't look good. You look like he'd been sitting in that boardroom drinking. He probably done man cuss some folks out, and it's just you saw behind the mirror, and you're just saying, oh, this don't look good. And this is my thing. And let me explain it to you this way for all the Dr. Thomas haters. Dr. Thomas was the athletic director here at Hampton for a while, for a long time. Him and Dr. Harvey are, they're partners in crime. And if you think about it, Dr. Harvey, we had Dr. Harvey at the top. Then we had Dennis Thomas. Then we had Joe Taylor. And then those three, that was the nexus. And then out of that, you had Steve Murfield, Pat Bibbs, you had Nielsen Screen, then you had Tiny Laster. That made up an empire. And
Yeah.
if you think about that whole time where all of when we had all of these I would say, very, very strong personalities and just very, I would say, good coaches. And we won so many championships during that era. Joe Taylor had his five championships. Then Murfield had his two. Then Pat Bibbs, oh Lord, she had four plus a multiple tourney appearances. Same with Murfield. And then we're not even talking about what happened over there at track and softball and tennis. All of this they were the power team. And if you think about it, Dr. Harvey was a visionary. Dr. Dennis Thomas was the architect. He put all the pieces together. And then Joe Taylor was the executioner. And just those three alone, that was almost like death row. And when it was at its heyday, Dr. Harvey was Suge Knight of the MEAC. And Dennis Thomas was, he was his boy, he was his henchman. And then Joe Taylor he was the shooter. Wasn't nobody messing with him. You think about it, the only team during that time that, kind of gave us static was FAMU during the Joe Taylor era, FAMU, and at one point A&T. And and then we ran. And then if you talk about Pat Bibbs, oh Lord have mercy, it's that. And we at Hampton always have a different idea for how we perceive Dr. Thomas, because he was such a pivotal figure for us. So then, as you think about it now, when the previous MEAC commissioner, I forgot his name, he left the MEAC to go to Dartmouth, I think, to be their AD. Then to come to find out he was lying on their resume, and they tossed him out over Dartmouth. So,
no.
Yeah. So Thomas, got that spot. And if you think about it, I can just see Dr. Harvey out there like, hey, what's going out there? We expand our footprint a little bit. I mean, I'm still the boss, but you out there in the MEAC, you look out for us, and you think about it, partners in crime. And so it always was like, Dr. Thomas never did nothing to Hampton, because we got away with it because Dr. Harvey was, he was the man.
They had a relationship. They were friends.
And they were frat brothers. Not frat brothers, but they're in the same fraternity. So it ran deep. But right when I would say, I think Dr. Thomas got tired of living outside of the shadow. And then, when you get like that, when you get out of that shadow, you kind of want to assert what you want to do. And so that's when I think when Harvey, thought he could just get out of the MEAC without paying a dime. And you know what? Dr. Thomas was like, nah, bro. Like, listen, man, we've been going back for years, but I'm not going to take no more of you. You know what? And he pulled a real G move on Dr. Harvey. And it was so bad. Remember, the whole national media got into it. So, Dr. Harvey was like, you think you could do this to me? You know what I'm saying? So, that whole thing was just like we thought we was boys, but hey, so it looks like as both of their careers are winding down, it's just like we look at it differently. Now, as far as FAMU and Bethune-Cookman, it's the interesting thing about it. It's like everyone says, okay, yeah, FAMU is more of a SWAC school. Bethune is more of a SWAC school. It's like I look at the FAMU alumni. In football, yes, they are a SWAC program. But in every other sport, they're a MEAC program. Same way with Bethune-Cookman. Just football only. Yeah, they kind of have a SWAC vibe to us. But, their fans are more geared towards the MEAC. And I think that the point where the MEAC wasn't able to fix the idea of making FAMU and Bethune-Cookman, a real part of the conference. If they could have figured out a way, maybe had a Northern Division and a Southern Division to make travel equitable, then I think that would have helped. Because, yeah, you have great matchups in the SWAC. I know they love it. But at the same time, it feels to me that, FAMU going to Delaware State, that's ugh. But FAMU going to Arkansas Pine Bluff, that's the same thing,
Yeah.
So I mean, I think people like try to like to discount, oh, the SWAC is a better fit. But if you think about it, FAMU, Tennessee State, that's even though that's out of conference, it's still the same. FAMU, South Carolina State is big. FAMU A&T is big. When FAMU plays any of the North Carolina schools, is big. And when FAMU plays, of course, Bethune-Cookman is big. So you could have kept that little nexus right there and considered that a Southern division, and the fans still would have been on board with that. And this is what I felt that, it's like we didn't, well, let's say they, Dr. Thomas didn't present to him because it kind of feels like the Big 12. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I just think Bethune-Cookman, honestly, they were just like well, fam, you going, we going, because
Right.
Bethune-Cookman ain't gonna be out there, just sitting there like, man, we're just the only one out here, man. Nah, they're gonna go to the SWAC too. And I mean, and I have family members who both went to both FAMU and Bethune, and there is mixed for them. They like the SWAC, but a lot of them, think about, the auxiliary sports as well. Like, oh yeah, I would love to see Jackson State come, but at the same time, though, I do like playing A&T. I do like going to North Carolina. I love going to Savannah, because to them, those are destination places to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just feel like the MEAC. I think the MEAC, and plus there's a lot of apathy in the MEAC. Honestly, it's like I think the more south you go, the more really the HBCU-ish it gets. Meaning after Virginia, once you get from North Carolina on down, that's when the real flavor comes out. You know what I'm saying? Like Morgan, Hampton, Howard. They don't really have that. I mean, they have a different flavor from what you see in the SWAC, and I just think that it just had that type of level of just the level of fandom just does not reach once it goes above North Carolina. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
And
100%. Yeah, 100. I see that
and
here. I mean, it's different. It's a different. I think
yeah,
it's history involved and
hmm
and proximity and things,
yeah,
but
yeah,
it's a totally different flavor down here. You're right. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, when we used to play, when Hampton used to play at the Meadowlands, or if we'll play like a SWAC school, or maybe a more of a Southern. I mean, it doesn't have to be a SWAC school, a more Southern HBCU, where it was in the Meadowlands. You would see so many people from the tri-state area come to these games, and they're just like, they just want to see the culture. You know what I'm saying? And I feel that it's like the northern schools, the northern HBCUs don't have a clearly defined HBCU culture, whereas the southern schools do. And I mean, I'm just talking about in the terms of football. And basketball, that's where northern HBCUs shine more. You routinely see Morgan and Hampton and increasingly A&T and Central. These are, I would say, basketball hotbed programs, and that's where that's where their footprint comes out more. So it's interesting though, but that's all I can say about the MEAC.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I mean, I think I think the FAMU and Bethune thing is interesting. Like I could see it makes sense why they would go to the South. I don't think the travel is a good enough reason because, like you said, I mean the South is wide. I mean, I guess FAMU would have to come up to Delaware every now and then a couple times a year, but now they got to go to Texas. They got to, and those are some long bus rides if they not
That's
flying.
very far. Yeah,
Yeah, man.
and people don't know. Do you know where Prairie View is? Do you know where like Texas Southern is in Houston? Arkansas, Pine Bluff, Alcorn, and Jackson are far too. That's
Yeah.
not. I mean, that's far. Sometimes that's a little bit farther than going to like the Carolinas. So yeah.
Itabita, they got to go to Itabita,
Oh,
Mississippi.
Ina Bina.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't think it was so much as traveling for them. This was all football. So and the money associated with that. So there's I mean the SWAC fans are going to travel. FAMU is going to get full. Like no one's going to see Delaware State at FAMU. Like no one cares about that.
No,
Not even Delaware
nobody.
State's doing that.
Yeah, and you know what? In the same way with Mississippi Valley, they don't care about that, or I mean, but Pine Bluff is good now, But before, when Pine Bluff wasn't good, wasn't nobody going to see that.
Yeah.
And look at Texas Southern. I don't care if they have a good stadium. The programs, they're rebuilding, and they've been rebuilding for forever, and nobody's gonna see that. So I mean, so FAMU has to count on, of course, Southern, Jackson State, Grambling, and just those four. I'm a discount A&M and State, because to me they still feel like SIAC schools, honestly.
Yeah. And and FAMU, Bethune-Cookman, I mean, those are some smart folks. So they ran the numbers, so
Hold on, hold on.
even if it's
Bethune was smart.
well.
I mean, whatever they did over there. Oh, my heart goes out to that
Yeah, they
program.
got some drama
Lord,
going on there.
Lord,
But
them. Go ahead.
yeah, there's some stuff going on there, and it don't make sense. But they hired that basketball guy, right?
Reggie Theus.
Yeah,
He's
you might as well
he's the
throw me up there.
Yeah, I mean, he's the AD and the basketball coach. First of all, Lynn Thompson, honestly, first of all, he was a staple of the MEAC, and I don't know what um, type of business BC was in right now, but if you wanted to go, fine. But you brought in a coach who had a losing record at a losing program, who had no, I would say, success anywhere outside of his professional career in basketball. And you mean to tell me you brought him as your AD and your coach? Oh, I
Yeah.
mean, if they are having other problems that we don't know about, I get it. Do what you do, figure it out. And I have four aunts that went there, and I got two cousins that just graduated from there. So, that's stuff to work out. And I feel for him. But I remember I was there for that graduation, that Betsy DeVos graduation, and the
Oh
former
man.
president had the nerve to get on stage and be like, "If you don't shut up, we gonna mail your diploma." Hey, he said diploma. No, it's a degree.
Well, maybe it is a diploma now.
It's like, yeah, exactly. It's
I'm
like
just, no, I'm
it's
just
like
kidding.
what Ice Cube says. Always want to show out in front of folks. Out of here. That's why they tossed him out of the school. All right, we done.
But
Let's move on.
yeah, so quick. So while we can put a bow on
Yeah,
this MEAC,
yeah.
just the voting or for the football predictions. So let's
Hmm.
real quick. So they predict South Carolina State's going to finish first, Norfolk
Hmm.
State second, Central third, Delaware State fifth, Delaware State fourth, Morgan State fifth, and Howard last at sixth. So that seems pretty fair to me, man. I think Norfolk State might have something to say there. I kind of like what they're doing, but
Yeah.
it seems pretty chalk to me. Any ideas there?
No, no, I agree with you. I do think that Norfolk State has one edge over South Carolina State. They have a good quarterback with Jawan Pooty Carter, and we playing him this year. And I'm just sitting here thinking, like, Lord have mercy, that kid can ball,
Yeah.
you know. And they got a really good coach with Coach Odoms. And it's like that's the last coach we want to see, man.
Yo, he's going to win at Norfolk State.
He's gonna
I don't
win
know. I don't
there,
know if they're gonna beat South Carolina State every
right?
year, but he's gonna win. He's gonna
He's
win.
gonna win, because he was a proven winner in the SWAC. And we're sitting here like, oh Lord. I mean, why couldn't he go to god daggone Morgan or something, or some other HBCU? Nobody but Norfolk, because they're gonna figure it out. I wish
Yeah.
they could have kept Latrell. I wish Latrell would have stayed there a few more years. I mean, even though he's a Hamptonian, it's just like, oh, so I do agree that Norfolk State's going to definitely push South Carolina State. I also feel that Delaware State is going to be better, and the reason why, because Rod Milstead, he is that program. He's the type of coach that loves. I mean, he's from downstate, so he bleeds red, blue, and white, whatever them ugly colors are. So I think they're probably going to be pushing up, going towards like that third and second spot. Morgan, definitely has good. I think Wheatley is definitely recruited well. We don't know what's going to come out of Howard. They did resign some good 3-star recruits, but you never know with Howard. I'm just hoping they suck when we play them.
Now Howard, I mean, just we always got a little flavor for Howard. Like I was listening to their coach,
Yeah.
and they're going to be bad this year. So
Yeah.
hopefully, uh, we're better than them. We should be,
Yes.
got to be
Yes.
when we play.
Yes.
But they're
Yes.
rebuilding again. I mean, they got some things coming in place. They got
Yeah.
setting the
Yeah.
foundation, but this is a rebuild. It's a total rebuild there. So
Cool.
hopefully we catch him at the right time.
Cool with that.
So MEAC, man, and MEAC, they should think about basketball. Like that's where MEAC is gonna, like you mentioned earlier, that's where they're gonna make their imprint with Central,
Yeah.
Norfolk
Yeah.
State, Morgan. I mean, they can do
Yeah.
some work and Howard. I mean, they attracted Maker. It didn't work out well, but
Nah.
they can make a name in basketball.
Yeah.
All right, man. So MEAC updates on to the Big South and Hampton. So Hampton is predicted to finish 7th in the Big South this year, 7th out of 8 teams. No, actually 9 teams now, because North Alabama is going to be eligible for at least their conference games are going to count. So, but as of when the votes came out, Hampton was scheduled or predicted to finish 7th. First, MEAC Monmouth is predicted to win the Big South, followed by Kennesaw State, A&T, North Carolina A&T 3rd, Charleston Southern 4th, Campbell 5th. I think Campbell might be a little bit better this year. We'll see. They got a really good quarterback. Gardner Webb at 6th, Hampton has 7th, and Robert Morris at 8th place for the Big South. Far as like Hampton players, Jadakiss Bonds, he was voted to first team All Big South. I think that's a no-brainer. He's a really talented wide receiver for Hampton. And we can go through the schedule, man. But what do you think about those? And once we get some more information about the rosters and players and things and depth charts, we don't know much. Nobody really knows anything about the team outside of the team. But once we get some more information, upcoming weeks we'll do a deeper dive into the roster. But just at a high level, we know as much as everyone else. So, but Hamptonite, any trouble, problems, issues with the rankings there?
Well, no, honestly, I mean, I think the rankings are pretty much spot on. We don't know what we have, you know?
Nope.
If you think about it, we did out of all the programs we did face last year, we took I think Charleston Southern to overtime. We played Campbell pretty close and they pulled away late. And I think Gardner Webb, we played them close too. So I mean, if we have a good program this year, we can probably challenge those 3 programs more. I do think Monmouth and Kennesaw, just on a different level from us. And I don't know what to say more about A&T right now. But yeah, they are, the program to beat in the HBCU universe. They got some dogs. So yeah, those 3 I would say should be at the top. And I would say from 4 through 7, that's kind of like musical chairs. Robert Morris, I'm just like, I don't, Robert Morris, Alabama. I'm not really counting much. But hey, we did lose to Virginia Union last year. Last in 2019. So, I'm not going to look past them. And we definitely did not look past Virginia Union. We knew what was coming.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna be an interesting year, man. We can go through the schedule real quick. So, like you said, we open up with Virginia Union. Hampton has to win that game. Unfortunately, Virginia Union, one of their players died on the practice field for them. So hopefully the team can rally around that, and hopefully everyone, is able to grieve properly and deal with that. So that's going to be a big blow to their team and to the whole HBCU football universe in general. So I hope that's okay. But Hampton has to take care of business there. They cannot lose that game. Like, cannot. Folks might get locked out of their offices if Hampton loses that game. That might be it. So that's September 4th, 6 p.m. Then they follow up. They're at Old Dominion. They're rebuilding too, ODU, but they've got a lot of talent. That transfer portal, man, they got picked up a lot of guys out of that transfer portal. So that will not be easy. Old Dominion. So then we it's neutral, but we're playing Howard at Audi Field in Washington, D.C. September 18th. That'll be an interesting game. Did you get tickets for that, man? I was going to, but I'm not. I'm not gonna do it. But did you? Are
I
you
did.
making it?
I did. I did. I didn't buy the suites because I don't want to be, even though we're sitting, I didn't like you can move around in the suites and it's all the food is inclusive. I just bought the seats. I'm actually basically like right behind the bench. So
Oh,
yeah.
okay, good, good. All right, so yeah, we got Howard, then we got Norfolk State at home. That's going to be a big test for Hampton. And then this is the game, man. This Kennesaw State, October 9th. And that's homecoming, as I understand it.
Mm,
So that can be something to boost the program or not. But that could
mm.
be a statement game for Hampton to pick up that W on homecoming. Then they're at Charleston Southern. Then they have A&T at home October 23rd. Then they are at Robert Morris October 30th. Then they've got Gardner Webb at home November 6th. Campbell away on November 13th. And then North Alabama finishing up November 20th at home. So interesting schedule there. We luckily we missed out on Monmouth this year, so we can avoid them. But interesting schedule, full of HBCUs, right? We got four HBCUs, one, two. This is the dream when we
Yeah.
left the conference, right? The
Oh
MEAC.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I do think I'm very excited to see what September 4th will look like. Hopefully, we have learned our lesson from that debacle that we saw 2 years ago. And, I just think I honestly, we chalk that loss up to, it's kind of like that's a Hampton thing, the way that we lost that game. It's like nobody really took it seriously. I'm not talking about just the football team. We did. We took it seriously because
We
we knew
did. We
Joe.
told them to
Yeah,
watch out
we
before
told
that
them to
game.
watch
We told
exactly.
them.
We told because we knew Joe Taylor is that part of that program, and he puts his imprints on those type of teams. That team that we saw was a Joe Taylor team.
Yeah.
That number 9 running back, Tobias
Tiberius,
Taylor,
Tiberius. Yeah.
Tobias Taylor.
Yep.
First of all, he was I think he was a FBS player. He had aspirations to go FBS, but he just had like a lot of issues. And Joe Taylor and the head coach, the way Joe Taylor did it, that's how he snagged guys like Kendall Langford, Justin Durant and Montrell Coley. These were guys that were huge, FBS prospects, but probably either didn't have the grades or the size, and that ended up at Hampton. And he got that kid, and that kid and I watched that game, I think about 2 weeks ago. I saw it on YouTube. And he just, oh Lord, it was two touchdowns in that game where it was just total, it was just total mismatch. One was that swing, that little wheel route he ran over, and he just totally he just blew by our safety.
Yeah.
That was just a bad play. And then I think the big touchdown was where everybody was expecting, a first down run, and it ended up being like a play action pass for a huge touchdown. And all of this was because of him. So, it's just hopefully, our team, is ready for this game, and nobody wants to lose to CIAA team, especially like Virginia Union. I'm sorry, no offense to Virginia Union,
That's
but
not supposed to
yeah,
happen.
that's not supposed to happen. I mean, oh man, Lord have mercy. God bless that school. Anyway, um, then yeah, Old Dominion. I mean, we've played Old Dominion tight a few times, and I think the best time, the time that we almost got them was when David Legree was a quarterback. I think we only lost by 3, and
Yep.
that was there. But I mean, Old Dominion they built their program, so that's going to be tough. That's just for the home fans, for like the Tidewater area. Howard, of course, is going to be that's the game. That's the game for all the snobbish people, all the people on that Ogden Circle group, and on Facebook, the wine and cheese eating folks. So they could, who don't pay attention to the program. They only complain when the program losing. And but that game was for them.
You know what? You know how many folks are going to be at that game asking if we still in the MEAC?
Well, like, we in the Big South now. What is the Big South?
Yep.
That's the conference we're in now.
When we leave the MEAC, people still ask me that.
Oh, are you kidding me? It's like, oh, it's just like, it's like you don't belong here. You don't belong here. It's just like, I mean, it's a bragging game, but it's interesting. It's interesting. It's like the older alums love this game more so than the young folks. Young folks, and that's of course all ages and all sporting events. It's happening in the SEC too. It's
Yeah.
all about, they don't care. It's like kids today don't care about this stuff. Then the next game is what I'm very excited about, Norfolk State, game. That to me, that's the old battle. Like if you think about it, the Battle of the Bay when we was there, like the community came out to that game because it
Yes.
meant something. And it was because both teams were actually competitive during those times. And it's like there was a real hatred between Hampton and Norfolk State. And it's not like it's like we've had some brushes. Like I don't think Hampton and Norfolk State should ever throw them joint parties again because remember we used to do it on our
Oh
campus.
man, people get shot, man. I mean, they was shooting.
I mean,
If it was off
oh,
campus, there was always a fight.
it was
Always,
always a fight, and
always.
it's just like, and it's like even though Joe Taylor had a bunch of roughnecks, we had some roughnecks on the squad, but Norfolk State took them rough. Like Joe Taylor had like good roughnecks, whereas Norfolk State they had legit like legit roughneck, and I ain't gonna call them roughneck, legit like street dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like I remember it's about what 98, 98, 99. We had a little joint party and we saw the Norfolk State bros, man. First of all of them, gold fronts everywhere. And I'm sitting there like I'm from Atlanta, so I'm like, okay, yeah, this is exactly what I'm used to. And even though they lost that game, but them dudes look like that was before the dreads were, I mean, locks were in style, where everyone was doing it. But they look like a legit, legit street. But anyway, but I'm glad the Battle of the Bay is back. It's for it to be really successful. Both teams have to be competitive. As far as homecoming, with Kennesaw State next, I honestly hope, and I'm saying this at the bottom of my heart,
Oh
that we
man.
don't have homecoming. I mean, I mean, and I'm not trying to say I don't want the Delta variant to increase, but Kennesaw State coming to Hampton on homecoming, Lord have mercy, this is not good. I mean, we couldn't get UVA upstate. Are you kidding me? Lord have mercy. I mean,
Yeah. Look at the schedule though. When would they do it? Because you got of the home team, it's either A&T or Kennesaw State. Who would you rather play for homecoming?
yeah. Hopefully, I would. A&T would have been homecoming. Nah, I wouldn't took Kennesaw State though. I mean, first of all, Kennesaw State they beat us 55 to something, whatever last time. No, that's gonna kill homecoming. I mean, I'm not saying we're gonna lose, but they're a very good program. Charleston Southern, A&T. I'm happy that we're playing them again. Thank you. That will
Yep.
be good. Hopefully, if we're successful, then we'll be able to. We'll be fine by then. Robert Morris. Well, it's in Moon Township, so that's up my way, so I can probably go to that one. Gardner Webb. We need to beat them. We have the dogs. Hopefully, we got the dogs to beat them. And the other programs, who cares?
Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Once we get some information about the rosters and everything, then we can have some tighter predictions about, you know, the general team. But for now, we don't really have that information, so we'll go through that. But we got Jadakiss, so and we got some interesting transfers on the way in.
Yeah.
So
I,
yeah,
I I love the transfers that we got.
yeah,
The kid from Penn State. he's definitely going to help him on the offensive side. Butts Anderson, I think. And then we got a really nice center that I like out of Western Illinois. Western
Western Carolina.
Carolina.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
He's
He's
good.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's gotten, I would say, pro level consideration too. So I think quietly, and this is what I like what the coach is doing, is that it looks like they're bringing in really mature guys, especially at the offensive line position, because we did lose Wilson, 77, and Lord, he was good. He was good. But if you think about, some of the other guys they brought in, they brought in some guys, and well, we don't know if they could play, but he's recruited heavily on both the offensive and defensive line. So, it seems to be a pretty smart strategy based upon what we've seen in the Big South.
Yeah. Only thing is, and we'll learn some more, but this whole team revolves around the quarterback. And that we haven't heard much there.
I mean,
So,
we've heard. Okay,
well,
hold on.
well, yes, yes, yes.
We've heard rumors, and innuendo, but I mean, I wouldn't say that we are 100% sure of what could happen. We do know about who is on the roster. We know about those guys,
Yeah.
but the one that we are particularly talking about, we're going to do the University of Solid and not say a word.
Right.
because if we say it, so no.
Yeah,
So
boy,
no,
yeah,
no.
that's gonna be if and when that is unveiled, boy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, we're doing the University of Solid. So don't send me nothing in my inbox. And you guys know who you are, because I know you're gonna listen. Be like, who is it? Who is it? Nah, we just
Google
yeah, yeah.
it.
Oh, no, no. You see, we got to cut that part out. But yeah, they won't find it anyway. It's kind of hard. It's hard to find, but we know though.
Yeah.
We're just in the know. So yeah.
Yep. So it'll be an interesting season. We'll see what's coming. But before hopefully the opening season, we'll get the roster and we can go back through and talk about some depth charts and stuff. So on to A&T real quick. So we won't go through their schedule, man. What's your general thoughts about A&T? I could share mine. I think that A&T is a fabulous program, enviable program. They're like what we used to be and what we're striving to be once again. Just solid program. They know how to win. They are confident as hell, and that's what you need. I think week in and week out is going to be an interesting adjustment for them in the Big South, because the good teams are really good, really good. And everything that you have as a weakness will be exposed. Now, A&T fans like to say they have no weaknesses. I love the A&T confidence. I mean, I just have to say that. Like,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
A&T can do no wrong. Like, if you say you talk to Hampton folk, general, like, we don't take stuff too serious, right? It's like, yeah, we
Yeah.
good, we
Yeah.
bad, whatever. I don't care. That's the
Yeah.
general Hampton approach. If you say something about Central, I've been thinking about this. We kind of joked about this before. If I like insult a Central person, they may even agree with you, right? They'd be like, yeah, we got some work to do. Hampton folks are like, yeah, whatever, we don't really care. If you say something the untowards to a A&T player, boy, or fan, you're gonna hear it. Like they can do nothing wrong. So,
Hmm.
I'm interested to see how they're gonna adjust to that in the Big South. But I'm just telling you guys, it's a different, slightly, it's an uptick in competition. And it's okay to like catch somebody, while they're sleeping who's not prepared for you. But it's gonna be another thing where people are game planning for you and know your tendencies. And I think that's where the adjustment is gonna be for A&T. But you can do it. I hope you do it. But it's just going to be an adjustment to play Monmouth, Kennesaw State, hell, even Charleston Southern. I mean, they're solid. They're just solid. You're not going
Hmm.
to run into a really, really, truly awful, terrible team every week. So you're just gonna have to step your game up and plug all your holes to win the Big South, man. But I think they can do it, but it's going to be an adjustment.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Let me go ahead and say this about A&T. They are, I mean, that whole program, just, I mean, not just the athletic program, excuse me, the university as a whole is a superstar. You know, it's booming. I just saw that they raised $98 million,
Yeah,
and I'm just sitting here just like, man, it's just like, man, it's like this. We all kind of we see that, and we kind of look over at Hampton like, what y'all doing over here? What we doing? Like, you can't like, ugh. It's just like y'all still holding on to yesteryear. Look what A&T is doing. They are a super program, a superpower, and it looks like that light is not diminishing anytime soon. The days of what's the name, Fobbs as their coach,
yeah,
is gone. We
yeah.
ain't gonna see that program for a long time where they
Mm-hmm.
had Fobbs and then after that, Lee, who was our old defensive coordinator. The days of that A&T is gone. We ain't gonna see them no more. So yeah, they're very strong with the Aggie pride. But don't let it get it twisted. They did lose to Morgan last year, and Ryan Stanley owns them. So let's keep it a $150. They lost to Morgan last year, and Ryan Stanley missed the dude with the with the look, that dude, man. I mean, big ups to that dude. He owned A&T for those past 2 years, and they didn't even win the MEAC. So stop. You won it because of some sort of sanction. So y'all didn't even win the MEAC. So stop it with. I mean, I get it. You guys are feeling yourself, but you didn't even win the goddamn MEAC. So and this the wild part though. I was watching their press conference. At the Big South event, and what's the name? Jermaine Martin, the
Yeah.
running back.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of dressed like he was a first round pick. I was sitting there like, oh, okay. Monmouth and Kennesaw was like, all right, oh, okay, yeah, all right, yeah, this ain't the MEAC, dog. I mean, you ain't gonna play no Delaware State. Well, yeah, you maybe Robert Morrison though, but Monmouth and Kennesaw looking at him like, oh, okay, all right, flashy, you icy. Let's see how icy you gonna be on that field.
Yeah.
And so my whole thing is, yeah, okay, you guys are looking a little bit overconfident for a team that did not win the MEAC. You did not win the MEAC. Yeah, you won it by I would say circumstance, but yeah, and you blew out what was it Alcorn. I mean, fam, you would have did the same thing too. So anyway, though, this is all I'm gonna say. It's like we gonna see. We gonna see. I mean, you probably gonna beat us, honestly. I mean, we're still trying to figure out who we are. I mean, we probably could beat them, but we just don't know what kind of program we got.
Right.
But we'll just see. We'll see. Y'all came in there like, yeah, we can own this conference, but you didn't win your previous conference that you left.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about at the top, I mean, I think Monmouth, their defense, you can do some things with their defense. With their offense, it's an FBS offense.
Yeah, yeah,
It's going to be the best offense you've seen in a
yeah,
long time. And I
yeah.
know A&T, they beat East Carolina, they beat UNLV, they beat Alabama. What's that? Northern, one of those Alabama, Jacksonville.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, they
They're
big quality.
good, but
Yeah,
this
they're
is
good.
different. This is
This
a
is different.
different. Yeah, this is different. I
Yeah,
mean, we've seen them, and we're totally unbiased here. And Kennesaw
yeah,
State, it's a nasty team. I mean,
yeah.
they nasty. They
Exactly.
come with that nasty option that you're not gonna see, and
It's
it's gonna
hard,
punch you in the face for 60 minutes, like
and
over
everybody
and
is
over.
big. Yeah,
Yes, yes.
everybody's big. The quarterback was almost average. It looked like he was like 240.
Yeah.
They got
So
running backs are big, tight ends 6'7", 265, 250, 280. You're just like, Lord, they're just big. So.
yeah, so it'll be interesting. Well, one thing that does help, maybe hurt. I don't know how you think about this, but Kenneth Monmouth does play A&T for G-Hope.
Yeah,
Oh,
you know what? I saw that. I saw the interview on HBCU Game Day where the coach was like, "We had to kind of figure out what a GHO is," and
right.
and I had some of my staff, look up GHO or GHOE. Like, oh yeah, but you know what though, man? I mean, yeah, I like if A&T actually has homecoming because there's a lot of folks that at their homecoming,
Oh man,
that
yeah.
that's a
Mama's folks, they will never see anything like that. That's
yeah,
gonna
they
be
won't.
ever. So it's gonna take a second to like adjust to that.
Yeah,
That is a
and
spectacle.
yeah, and with COVID,
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting
that's a
about that.
super spreader event. So
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
probably gonna have to figure out a way, because Geo is packed, man, and I'm putting Geo up there with the AU Center homecoming, and I'm not gonna call Howard homecoming. That's just nothing but just a concert, really.
Yeah.
I used to live over there. It ain't really no homecoming home. I mean, it's a homecoming,
Man, I know
but
a lot of
it's
Howard folks who get out of town during homecoming week. So
exactly, it's like it just to me it's just a different feel. To me the AU Center and GHO are still the two best. And I'll put like a FAMU and whoever else is, down there. But yeah, GHO is I don't like the name GHO, but I get it. But it's a spectacle.
yeah, yeah, it is. It'll be interesting. That could be a plus for A&T if they get their guys to focus. So it'll be interesting. We'll see. We'll learn some more about them in the upcoming weeks. I will say, Jermaine Martin, he is the wild card. I mean, he's a pro running back.
Oh, he a
So
baller. He a
yeah,
baller.
he will be an equalizer for them. So yeah, I'm
Jermaine,
interested to see
if
that.
you listening, we like you. You a baller. We love the swag. We saw how you came in there. You a legit NFL dude. You got that dog in you. But
Yep.
we gonna see. We
Yep.
gonna see.
We'll see.
Yeah, you're selling wolf tickets at the Big South meeting. We gonna see.
Well,
You
let's see.
know,
I mean, let's see what he does, with
yeah.
those Kennesaw State linebackers. I mean,
Ooh,
that's I mean,
ooh.
it's yeah, man.
You ain't going up against no 5'11, 220, 230 pound cinder block foot linebacker that you saw in the MEAC. These boys can move. So
Yeah, yeah, it'll be
yeah.
interesting. So yeah, man. I mean, that's it, Hamptonite, man. Getting our feet back wet with the podcast. Any lasting thoughts, man?
It's nothing much. I would love to see, Hampton, kind of feed us a little bit more information. Honestly, it's like nuclear quiet. So,
Yeah, it's kind of
uh,
interesting. I've never seen this before. I'm
yeah,
assuming this is part of the plan. But
yeah,
I have to
yeah.
say, in all honesty, it's a little bit disappointing
It
the
is.
the love information there because folks are asking me. I'm like, I don't know. I know nothing.
It's like, yeah, everybody like, what's going on? I don't know. I mean, sure, we just know just a little bit just
Yeah,
from, folks who just, not even in the periphery, So, maybe it's like I'm hoping that they have a good program and they just want to keep it, from the outside and just, because if you think about it, WABE 10 and WVEC have already done their rounds of all those universities, within the Tidewater area. They did Norfolk, ODU, William and Mary, and Christopher Newport. So, so I'm sure they probably said no. They probably declined their visit. So it is what it is. So
yeah.
I,
So
I just want to see what happens September 4th.
yeah, me too, man. Me too. So if we get some more information, we'll be back before then. If not, we'll be back after then to discuss the Virginia Union game. So everybody be safe. COVID is still a thing, and go Pirates.